I recently did a sermon on the miracle at Cana, this crazy story where Jesus makes a huge amount of wine out of water so he can keep this party going. And when I did, it really made me think of the movie Tree of Life. Now, hear me out. The wedding at Cana is this really fascinating miracle, because if you kind of pay attention to the story, no one really understands what's happened. They just think that the host has brought out more wine, and they're a little surprised that it's the good wine, not the cheap wine, because why are you bringing out the good wine at the end of the party when everyone's drunk? But if you kind of pay attention, nobody really even clues into what's happened. There's really Mary, Jesus, maybe some of the disciples. In particular, there's this disciple Nathaniel that Jesus has told to pay attention, keep his eyes open for something special. Later in John, we learn that he's from Cana in Galilee, so he's probably there at the party. I wonder if maybe even this miracle was a little bit designed for him. But this incredible miracle, which John calls the first sign of the ultimate sign of Jesus' resurrection, happens there at a party where nobody else even notices. And that made me think of probably the most confusing, but maybe the most beautiful scene in the movie Tree of Life. There was a movie a few years ago. By that I mean more than a decade ago, but it was called The Tree of Life. Maybe you saw it, probably didn't. Starred Jessica Chastain and Brad Pitt and Sean Penn, so some pretty big names, but it was also very much a long, slow, Terrence Malick, art house, honestly pretty pretentious movie. I loved it. But one of the most controversial / confusing moments in the film is where a movie about a young boy's complicated relationship with his gentle, caring mother and his hard, stern father who was unable to process his guilt and grief over the death of his second son, all of a sudden jumps to the formation of the universe. And we see stars forming and galaxies taking shape, and time speeds forward and the earth begins to cool. Organisms crawl out of the primordial soup and dinosaurs roam across the land to live and die in a brutal fight for survival. And then all of a sudden, we're back in the boy's complicated relationship with his father, and the movie continues. Now, later he grows and goes to heaven and reconciles with his past, and it's all wonderful, but I'll give you my take here. I think the cosmic interlude is trying to tell us that formative moments in our lives, like fights with our fathers, or miracles that go unnoticed by everyone else, can seem so small and insignificant in the light of everything that surrounds us that we sometimes forget the power they have to shape our universe. Sometimes a moment in your life can feel so completely immaterial when you look at it objectively, and yet you know that it shaped you irrevocably. That's your cosmic interlude. I think this wedding is like that. I think it's a moment that was designed to be overlooked by almost everyone, a moment that was missed by everyone except those who for the moment was for. And for those few, it was a sign of a new universe bursting forth with possibility right in front of them.